II abdicates the throne to Henry Bolingbroke of Lancaster.
Here, cousin, seize the crown. On this side my hand, and on that side yours.
Are you contented to resign the crown? No. No.
Aye, for I must nothing be. Now, mark me how I will undo myself. I give this heavy weight from off my head. With mine own hands I give away my crown. With mine own tongue deny my sacred state. With mine own breath release all duty's rights. God save King Harry, unkinged Richard says, and sent him many years of sunshine days.
Oh, for a muse of fire that would ascend the brightest heaven of invention.
A kingdom for a stage, princes to act, and monarchs to behold the swelling scene.
Suppose within the girdle of these walls is now confined a mighty monarchy.
Piece out our imperfections with your thoughts, and let us on your imaginary forces work.
Into 1,000 parts divide one man. Think when we talk of horses that you see them, printing their proud hoofs and receiving earth.
What is your thoughts that now must deck our king?
Carry them here and there, jumping o'er tides.
Turning the accomplishment of many years into an hourglass. For the which supply admit me.
Chorus commits history!
Witness now the troubled reign of King Richard II,
And the crowning of his cousin, Henry Bolingbroke.
And meteors fright the fixed stars of heaven. The pale-faced moon feels bloody on the earth. These signs forerun the death or fall of kings. King Richard's countrymen are gone and fled.
Ah, Richard, with the eyes of heavy mind, I see thy glory like a shooting star fall to the base earth from the firmament. Thy sunset weeping in the lonely west, witnessing storms to come, woe and unrest.
Thy friends are fled to wait upon thy foes, and crossly to thy good all fortune goes.
And speak. Let's talk of graves, of worms and epitaphs. Make dust our paper, and with rainy eyes write sorrow on the bosom of the earth. Let's choose executors and talk of wills. And yet not so, for what can we bequeath save our deposed bodies to the ground? Our land, our lives, and all are Bolingbroke's. And nothing can we call our own but death, and that small model of the barren earth which serves as paste and cover to our bones. For God's sake, let us sit upon the ground and tell sad stories of the death of kings. How some have been deposed, some slain in war, some haunted by the ghosts they have deposed. All murdered. For within the hollow crown that rounds the mortal temples of a king keeps death his court, and there the antic sits, scoffing his state and grinning at his pomp, allowing him a breath, a little scene, to monarchize, be feared and killed with looks, infusing him with self and vain conceit, as if this flesh which walls about our life were brass impregnable. And humor thus comes at the last, and with a little pin bores through his castle wall, and farewell, king, for you have but mistook me all this while. I live with bread like you, feel want, taste grief, eat friends. Subjected thus, how can you say to me I am a king? I wasted time, and now doth time waste me. Nor I, nor any man that but man is, with nothing shall be pleased, till he be eased with being nothing.
King Richard II, alone in prison, is murdered by the new King Henry IV's men. The guilt over this murder will plague King Henry for the rest of his life. King Henry is able to become king because he is beloved by the people, but because he is not the rightful king derived from the line of succession, he later makes many enemies, and rebellion begins to percolate throughout the country.
For now, King Henry is content to rule, especially since Richard II is dead.
However, King Henry longs for his son, Prince Henry, also known as Prince Hal, to give up his life in the taverns of England, drinking, robbing, whoring, and neglecting his responsibilities as next in line to the throne.
Henry Bolingbroke, the new King Henry IV, laments that his son, Prince Henry, is not more like Hotspur, also known as Henry Percy, and the son of his wife.
The hypocrite bring the back on England. One fat, one soul, one government.
Can no man tell me of my thrifty son? 'Tis full 3 months since I did see him last. If any plague hang over us, 'tis he. I would to God, my lords, he might be found. Inquire at London amongst the taverns there, for there they say he daily doth frequent with unrestrained loose companions. Yea, there thou makest me sad, and makes me sing in envy that my Lord Northumberland should be the father to so blessed a son who is the theme of honor's tongue, the gallant Hotspur, young Harry Percy. Oh, that it could be proved that some night-tripping fairy had exchanged in cradle clothes as our children where they lay. Then would I have his Harry, and he mine.
Drinking of old sack and unbinding thee after supper and sleeping upon benches after noon. What a devil has now to do with the time of the day?
Indeed, you come near me now, Hal, for I prithee, sweet lad, thou art indeed the most rascalliest sweet young person. Were it not here apparent that thou art heir apparent, thou indeed corrupt a saint. Before I knew thee, Hal, I knew nothing. And now am I a little better than one of the wicked. I must give over this life, and I will give it over. By the Lord, and I do not, I am a villain.
Where shall we take a purse tomorrow, Jack?
Zooms, where thou wilt. Balance! Lads, boys, hearts of gold. What? Shall we be married? Shall we have a play, Mr. Thou wilt be horribly fit tomorrow when thou comest to thy father. If thou love me, practice an answer.
Do thou stand for my father and examine me upon the particulars of my life.
Shall I? Content! This chair shall be my state. Give me a cup of sack to make my eyes look red, that it may be thought I have wept, for I must speak in passion.
Well, here is my lip.
And here is my speech. Stand aside, nobility. Harry, I do not only marvel where thou spendst thy time, but also how thou art accompanied. Shall the son of England prove a thief and take purses? And yet, there is a virtuous man whom I have often noted in thy company, but I know not his name.
What manner of man, acting like your majesty?
A goodly portly man, faith. Oh, and now I remember me. His name is Falstaff. Harry, I see virtue in his looks. There is virtue in that Falstaff. Him keep with the rest.
Do thou stand for me and I'll play like.
Oppose me? If thou dost it, hang me up by the heels for a rabbit supper.
Oh, here I am set.
Oh, and here I stand. Judge my masters.
Now, Harry, whence come you?
My noble lord from mischief.
The complaints I hear of thee are grievous.
Blood. My lord, they are false. Nay, I'll take thee for a young prince's bit.
Thou art violently carried away from grace. There is a devil haunts thee in the likeness of an old fat man. Why dost thou converse with that trunk of humors? That bolting hutch of beastliness? That huge bombard of sack? That swollen parcel of drops? That stuffed cloak bag of guts with a putty in his belly?
I would your grace would take me with you. Home means your grace.
That villainous, abominable, misleader of youth, Falstaff! Oh, white-bearded Satan!
My lord, the man
I know thou dost.
Oh, that he is old, the more the pity. His white hairs will miss it. No, my good lord, banish Hostess. Banish Pistol. Sweet Jack Falstaff. Kind Jack Falstaff. True Jack Falstaff. Valiant Jack Falstaff. And therefore more valiant, being as he is old Jack Falstaff. Oh, banish not him that hill his company. Banish plump Jack, and banish all the world.
I do. I will. There live but three good men on England. One fat, one old, one got my drink. There live but three good men on England. One fat, one old, one got my drink. I know you all, and will a while uphold the unyoked humor of your idleness. Yet herein will I imitate the sun, who doth permit the base contagious clouds to smother up his beauty from the world, that when he please again to be himself, being wanted, he may be more wondered at, by breaking through the foul and ugly mists of vapors that did seem to strangle him. So when this loose behavior I throw off, and pay the debt I never promised, by how much better than my word I give? By so much shall I falsify men's hopes. I also offend, to make offense a skill. Redeeming time when men think least, I will.
King Henry demands prisoners that Hotspur has taken in a battle against Scotland. Hotspur is enraged and sets in motion a full-scale rebellion against King Henry and his son, Prince Hal. The rebellion is not going well, however. Hotspur is having trouble gaining support.
At the same time, he is trying to keep the rebellion secret, even from his wife, Lady Percy.
But for mine own part, my lord, I could be well contented to be there. In respect of the love I bear your house, he could be contented. Why is he not then? In respect of the love he bears our house, he shows in this. He loves his own barn better than he loves our house. Let me see some more. The purpose you undertake is dangerous. Why, that's certain. 'Tis dangerous to take a cold, to sleep, to drink. The purpose you undertake is dangerous. The friends you have named uncertain. And your whole plot too light for the counterpoise is so great in opposition? Say you so. Say you so. I say unto you again, you are shallow, cowardly hind, and you lie. What a lack brain is this? By the Lord, our plot is a good plot as ever was laid. Our friends true and constant. A good plot, good friends, and full of expectation. An excellent plot. Very good friends. I will set forward tonight. Oh, no, King. I must leave you within these 2 hours.
Oh, my good lord, why are you thus alone? For what offense have I this fortnight been a banished woman from my Harry's bed? Why hast thou lost the fresh blood in thy cheeks?
and given my treasures and my rights of thee to thick-eyed musing and cursed melancholy. In thy faint slumbers I by thee have watched, and heard thee murmur tales of iron wars, cry courage to the field, and thou hast talked of prisoners' ransom and of soldiers' slave. Some heavy business hath my lord in hand, and I must know it, else he loves me not. But hear you, my lord.
What sayest thou, my lady?
What is it carries you away?
Why, my horse, I love my horse.
Out, you mad-headed ape! In faith, I'll know your business, Harry, that I will.
I shall be weary, love.
Come, you parakeeto, answer me directly unto this question that I ask. In faith, I'll break thy little finger, Harry, and if thou wilt not tell me all things true.
Away, away, you trifler! Love, I love thee not. I care not for thee, Kate. Godspeed, my horse! What sayest thou, Kate? Wouldst thou have with me?
Do you not love? Do you not indeed? Do not then. For since you love me not, I will not love myself. Do you not love me? Nay, tell me if you speak in jest or no.
Come, wilt thou see me ride? And when I am on horseback, I will swear I love thee infinitely. But hark you, Kate. I must not have you question whither I go, nor reason whereabout. Whither I must, I must. And to conclude, this evening must I leave you, gentle Kate. Today will I set forth, tomorrow you. Will this content you, Kate?
It must. Of force.
The king himself in person is set forth, with strong and mighty preparation.
He shall be welcome. Where is his son, the nimble-footed madcap Prince of Wales and his comrades?
All furnished, all in arms. I saw young Harry gallantly on, rise from the ground like feathered Mercury, and vaulting with such ease into his seat, as if an angel dropped down from the clouds, to which the world with noble horsemen
No more. Let them come. I am on fire. Against the bosom of the Prince of Wales, Harry to Harry shall hot horse to horse, meet and ne'er part till one drop down a corpse. Let us take a muster speedily. Doomsday is near. Die all, die merrily!
How? If thou seest me down in the battle and bestride me so, 'tis a point of friendship.
Nothing but a colossus can do thee that friendship. Say thy prayers and farewell.
I would 'twere bedtime, Hal, and all well.
Why, thou always got a death.
'Tis not due yet. Well, 'tis no matter. Honor pricks me on. Yeah, but how if honor prick me off when I come on? Can honor set to a leg? No. Or an arm? No. Honor hath no skill in surgery then? No. What is honor? A word. Who hath it? He that died on Wednesday. Doth he feel it? No. Doth he hear it? No. 'Tis insensible then. Yea, to the dead. But will it not live with the living? No. Therefore, I'll none of it.
Thou speaks as if I would deny my name.
My
a very valiant rebel of the name. I am the Prince of Wales. And think not, Percy, to share with me in glory any more. 2 stars keep not their motion in one sphere, nor can one England brook a double reign of Harry Percy and the Prince of Wales.
Well said, Hal. Or shall it, Harry? For the hour has come to end the one of us. I can no longer brook thy bannings!
Adieu, and take thy praise with thee to heaven. What old acquaintance? Could not all this flesh keep in a little life? Poor Jack. Farewell. I could have better spared a better man. And bowed will I see thee by and by. Till then, in blood, by noble Percy lie.
Bow. What? The better part of valor is discretion, in the which better part I have saved my life. There's honor for you. I like not such grinning honor as this dead man hath. Give me life, in which if I can save, so. If not, honor comes unlooked for, and there's an end. I'm afraid of this Hotspur, though he be dead. Why may not he rise as well as I? Therefore, I'm making sure he ain't elsewhere I kill him. Nobody sees me. Therefore, sirrah, with a new wound in your thigh, come you along with me.
Come, Brother John. Full bravely hast thou fleshed thy maiden sword.
What soft whom have we here? Did you not tell me this fat man was dead?
I did. I saw him dead, breathless and bleeding on the ground. Art thou alive?
If I be not Jack Falstaff, then am I Jack? There is Percy. If your father would do me any honor, I look to be either Earl or Duke, I can assure you.
Percy, I killed myself and saw thee dead.
Didst thou? Lord, Lord, how this world is given to lying. I grant you, I was down and out of breath, and so was he. But we rose both at an instant, and fought a long hour by Shrewsbury clock. I gave him this wound in the thigh. If the man were alive and would deny it, presumes I would make me a piece of my sword.
This is the strangest tale that ever I heard.
This is the strangest fellow, Brother John. The trumpet sounds retreat. The day is ours. Come, brother. Let us to the highest of the fields to see what friends are living, who are dead.
I'll follow, as they say, for reward. He that rewards me God reward him. If I do grow great, I'll grow less. For I'll purge and leave sack, and live cleanly, as a nobleman should do. We have heard the chimes at midnight.
After Hotspur's death, King Henry IV has a revitalized opinion of his son, Prince Hal, deeply proud of his bravery and courage. However, King Henry grows ill, weighed down by the guilt that plagues him following the murder of Richard II.
How many thousand of my poor subjects are this hour asleep? Oh, sleep. Oh, gentle sleep. Nature's soft nurse, how have I frighted thee without no more? Weigh my eyelids down, and steep my senses in forgetfulness. Sleep. Oh, gentle sleep. Deny it to a king. Then happy low lie down. Uneasy lies the head that wears a crown.
As he is dying, King Henry tells his son that when he becomes king, he must unite England by pursuing war with France.
Yet though thou standst more sure than I could do, thou art not firm enough. Therefore, my Harry, be it thy course to busy giddy minds with foreign quarrels. That action henceforth out may waste the memory of the former days.
March 1413. King Henry dies and his son grieves deeply. Prince Hal becomes king and is named King Henry V.
Pistol.
Not the ill wind which blows no man to good. Sweet knight, thou art now one of the greatest men in this realm.
I am under the king and some authority.
Under which king? Speak or die.
Under King Harry.
Harry the Fourth or Fifth.
Harry the Fourth.
Sir John, thy tender lambkin now is king. Harry the Fifth's the man. I speak the truth.
What, is the old king dead?
His nail and door, the things I speak are just.
Oh, the late pistol. Saddle my horses. Row, row. Choose what offices thou wilt in the land, they are thine. But pistol, I will double charge thee with dignities.
Why, to bring good news.
I am fortune steward. I know the young king is sick for me. The laws of England are my commandment. God save my grace, King Hal. Oh, my royal house. Oh, God save me, my sweet boy. Oh, my king, my Jove. I speak to thee, my heart.
I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers. How ill white hairs become a fool and jester. I have long dreamed of such a kind of man. So surfeit swelled, so old and so profane. But being awake, I do despise my dream. Reply not to me with a full-born jest. Presume not that I am the thing I was. For God doth know, so shall the world perceive that I have turned away my former self. So will I those that kept me company. When thou dost hear I am as I have been, approach me, and thou shalt be as thou was, the tutor and the feeder of my riots. Till then, I banish thee. Set up.
Hostess, do not you grieve at this? I shall be sent for in private to him. Look you, he must seem thus to the world. Fear not your advancement, I will be the man yet that shall make you great. Go with me to dinner. Come, hostess, come. A pistol, I shall be sent for soon. At night.
King Henry V is not taken seriously by the French. As he wrestles with his conscience over whether to attack France or not, he is visited by the ghost of his fathers.
May I, with right and conscience, make this claim?
Stand for your own. Unwind your bloody flag. Look back into your mighty ancestors. Go to your great-grandsire's tomb, Edward III, from whom you claim. Invoke his warlike spirit and your great-uncle's Edward the Black Prince, who on the French ground played a tragedy, making defeat on the full power of France. You are their heir. You sit upon their throne. The blood and courage that renowned them runs in your veins.
Once he is assured that his claim to be both King of England and France is justified, he entertains the French ambassadors from their mocking Prince of France, Charles the Dauphin.
Now are we well prepared to know the pleasure of our fair cousin Dauphin? For we hear your greeting is from him, not from the king.
May it please your majesty to give us leave freely to render what we have in charge, the Dauphin's meeting and our embassy.
We are no tyrants, but a Christian king. Therefore, with frank and with uncurbed plainness, tells the Dauphin's mind.
Thus then in view, your highness, lately sending into France did claim some certain dukedoms in the right of your great predecessor, King Edward III. In answer of which claim, the prince, our master, says that you savor too much of your youth. He therefore sends you, meter for your spirit, this ton of treasure. This the Dauphin speaks.
What treasure, Montjoy?
Tennis balls, your majesty.
We are glad the Dauphin is so pleasant with us. This present and your pains, we thank you for. When we have matched our rackets to these balls, we will, in France, by God's grace, play a set shall strike his father's crown into the hazard. And we understand him well, how he comes over us with our wilder days, not measuring what use we made of them. We never valued this poor seat of England. But tell the Dauphin, I will keep my state, be like a king and show my sail of greatness when I do rouse me in my throne of France. For I will rise there with so full of glory that I will dazzle all the eyes of France. Yea, strike the Dauphin blind to look on us. And tell the pleasant prince, this mock of his, hath turned his balls to gunstones, and his soul shall stand sore charged for the wasteful vengeance that shall fly with them. For many 1,000 widows shall this, his mock out of their dear husbands, mock mothers from their sons, mock castles down, and some are yet ungotten and unborn that shall have cause to curse a Dauphin scorn. But this lies all within the will of God, to whom I do appeal, and in whose name, tell you the Dauphin, I am coming on. Very well. Now, lords, for France, forth, dear countrymen, cheerily to see the signs of war advance, and no king of England, if not king of France. Yeah!
Now all the youth of England are on fire!
For now sits expectation in the air.
With crowns imperial, crowns and coronet, promised to Harry and his followers.
Once more onto the breach, dear friends! once more close the wall up with our English dead. In peace, there's nothing so becomes a man as modest stillness and humility. But when the blast of war blows in our ears, then imitate the actions of the tiger. Stiffen the sinews, summon up the blood, disguise fair nature with hard-favored range, then lend the eye a terrible aspect. Thou set the teeth and stretch the nostril wide, hold hard the breath, and bend up every spirit to his full height. On, you noblest English, and teach them how to war. The game's afoot. Follow your spirits, and upon discharge cry, God for Harry, England, and St. George!
God for Harry, England, and St. George!
King Henry and his army take Hotspur!
Yeah!
But their victory is short-lived. War in France proves costly, and the English suffer great losses, illness, and despair. It is now the morning of October 25th, 1415, and today's battle is the one that could break the English army once and for all. King Henry's soldiers are mightily outnumbered and have lost all hope.
Of fighting men, they have full 300,000. There's 5 to 1. Besides, they all are fresh. God's arm strike with us. 'Tis a fearful odds. God be with you. Prince's own. I'll to my charge. If we no more meet till we meet in heaven, then, my kind kinsmen, warriors all, adieu. Oh, that we now had here but 1/10,000 of those men in England that do no work today.
What's he that wishes so? My cousin Westmoreland. No, my fair cousin. If we are marked to die, we are enough to do our country loss. And if to live, the fewer men, the greater share of honor. God's will, I pray thee, wish not one man more. By Jove, I am not covetous for gold. Such outward things will nigh my desire. But if it be a sin to covet honor, I am the most offending soul alive. This day is called the Feast of Crispian. He that shall live this day and see old age will yearly on the vigil feast his neighbors and say, tomorrow is St. Crispian. Then will he strip his sleeves and show his scars and say, these wounds I had on Crispin's day. And he'll remember with advantages what feats he did that day. This story shall the good man teach his son. And Crispian shall never go by from this day to the ending of the world. But we in it shall be remembered. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers. For he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother.
The French are bravely in their battle set and will with all expedients charge on us.
All things are ready if our minds be so.
Perish the man whose mind is backward now.
Thou dost not wish more help from England, cuz. God's will, my liege.
Would you and I alone without more help could fight this royal battle?
Why now thou hast unwished 5,000 men, which likes me better than to wish as one. You know your places. God be with you all. called that stands hard by?
They call it Agincourt.
Then call with us the field of Agincourt. Fought on the day of crispy eggs. Go and tell them so.
Your grandfather of famous memory, Edward III, and it please your majesty, and your great-uncle, Edward the Black Prince of Wales, as I read in the chronicles, fought a most brave battle here in France.
O God of earth and daughter, bow down and hear our cry. Our earthly rulers falter, our people drift and die. The walls of golden tomb us, the swords of scorn divide. Take not thy thunder from us, but take away our pride. Amen.
King Henry takes France, his men remain to fortify it strongly against the French.
Suppose now the ambassador from the French comes back, tells Harry that the king doth offer him Katherine, his daughter. Alice, tu es en Angleterre et tu parles bien le langage.
Un peu, madame.
Je te prie, monseigneur, il faut que j'apprenne à parler. Comment appelez-vous la main en anglais?
La main, elle est appelée du hand.
Du hand.
Hand.
Et les doigts?
Les doigts. Ma foi, je mets les doigts. Mais je m'expliquerai. Les doigts. Je pense qu'ils s'en appellent des fingers. Oui, des fingers.
La main de hand, les doigts de
Fingers.
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 Je dois utiliser le mot de collier. J'ai gagné 2 mots d'anglais, vite-moi. Comment appelez-vous les ongles?
Les ongles, nous les appelons des nails.
Nails.
Nails. Nails.
Écoutez, dites-moi, si je parlais bien, de hand, de fingers et de nails.
C'est bien dit, madame. Il est pas bon endroit.
Dites-moi l'anglais pour les bras.
Des armes, madame.
De armes et les coudes.
Des elbows.
De bilbo.
Des elbows, madame.
Oh, Seigneur Dieu, je m'en appelais de elbow. Comment appelez-vous l'école?
Des necks, madame.
De nick. Oh, et le menton?
Des chin.
De sin. L'école de nick, le menton de sin. Oh, comment appelez-vous les pieds et les robes?
Ah, des foot, madame. Et des comptes.
Des foutres et des comptes. Oh, Seigneur Dieu, je suis de son mauvais, corruptible, gros et impudique. Et non pour les dames venant du ciel. Je ne voudrais prononcer ce mot devant le Seigneur de France pour tout le monde. Pour les foutres et les comptes. Néanmoins, je réciterai une autre fois ma leçon ensemble. De hand, de fingers, de nails, de arm, de elbow, de nick, de sin, de foutre et de kunt.
Excellent, madame.
Fair Catherine? And most fair. Will you vouchsafe to teach a soldier terms, such as will enter on a lady's ear and plead his love suit to her gentle heart?
Your Majesty shall mock at me. I cannot speak your England.
Oh, fair Catherine, if you will love me soundly with your French heart, I will be glad to hear you confess it brokenly with your English tongue. Do you like me, Kate?
Pardonnez-moi, I cannot tell what is like me.
An angel is like you, Kate, and you are like an angel.
Oh, bon Dieu, les langues des hommes sont pleines de tromperies.
What says she, fair one? That the tongues of men are full of deceits.
Oui, that the tongues of the man is be full of deceits. That is the princess.
The princess is the better Englishwoman. In faith, Kate, my wooing is fit for thy understanding. I am glad thou canst speak no better English. For if thou couldst, thou wouldst find me such a plain king, that thou wouldst think I had sold my farm to buy my crown. I know no ways to mince it in love, but directly to say I love you. Give me your answer. If faith do and so, clap hands in the bargain. How say you, lady?
So, but we understand well.
Marry before God, king. I speak to thee, plain soldier. If thou canst love me for this, take me. Take a soldier. Take a soldier. Take a king. What sayest thou then to my love? Speak, my fair, and fairly, I pray thee.
Is it possible that I should love the enemy of France?
No, it is not possible to love the enemy of France, king. But in loving me, you should love the friend of France. For I love France so well, I will not part with a village of it. I will have it all mine. And king, when France is mine, and I am yours, then yours is France, and you are mine.
I cannot tell what is that.
No, Kate. I shall tell thee in French. Je compte sur les possessions de France et quand vous avez les possessions de moi. It is as easy for me, Kate, to conquer the kingdom as to speak so much more French. I shall never move thee in French unless it be to laugh at me, but good Kate, mock me mercifully, gentle princess, because I love thee cruelly. What sayest thou, my fair flower de luce? How answer you? La plus belle Katherine du monde?
Your Majesty have false French enough to deceive the most sage demoiselle in France.
Now fie upon my false French. By mine honor, in true English, I love thee, Kate. Take me by the hand and say, Harry of England, I am thine. I will tell thee aloud, England is thine. Ireland is thine. France is thine. Harry V is thine. Wilt thou have me?
That is as it shall please the king. Okay.
Nay, it will please him well, King. It shall please him, King.
Then it shall also content me.
Upon that I kiss your hand and I call you my queen.
Oh, laissez, monseigneur, laissez.
Then I will kiss your lips, King.
Oh, non, mademoiselle, mademoiselle de Vainqueur, je sais. Il n'est pas le duc de France.
Madame my interpreter, what says she?
That it is not be the fashion for the lady de France. I cannot tell what is by there in English.
To kiss.
Your Majesty entendre le truc moi.
It is not fashion for the maids in France to kiss before they are married, would she say?
Oui, vraiment.
Oh, Kate. Nice customs, curtsy to great kings. Dear Kate, you and I do not be confined within the weakness of a country's fashion. We are the makers of manners, Kate. You have witchcraft in your lips, Kate.
Thus far, with rough and all unable pen, our bending author hath pursued the story, in little room confining mighty men, mangling by starts the full course of their glory. Small time, but in that small most greatly lived, this star of England. Fortune made his sword by which the world's best garden be achieved.
And of it, left his son, imperial lord, Henry VI, an infant man, crowned king of France and England. Did this king succeed? So many had the managing that they lost Frank and made his England bleed, which soon our stage will show. And for their sake, in your fair minds, let this acceptance take. Thy words are true. Otherwise, I renounce all confidence.
I am prepared. Here is my keen-edged sword, decked with 5 flowered luces on each side, the which at terrain in St. Catherine's churchyard out of a great deal of old iron I chose forth.
Then come, God's name, I fear no woman.
And while I live, I'll ne'er fly from a man. Ha! Christ's mother helps me, else I were too weak.
Whoe'er helps thee, 'tis thou that must help me. Impatiently I burn with thy desire. What is thy name?
My father was Jacques d'Arc, my mother Isabel. My name is Joan of Arc, but as I am a maid, you must call me La Pucelle.
Oh, excellent, Pucelle. If thy name be so, let me thy servant and not sovereign thee. 'Tis the French Dauphin sueth to thee thus.
I must not yield to any rites of love, for my profession sacred from above.
Shall we give over Orleans or no?
Recreants, fight to the last gasp! I will be your guard. Look on thy country. Look on fertile France, and see the cities and the towns defaced by wasting ruin of the cruel foe. As looks the mother on her lowly babe when death doth close his tender dying eyes. See the pining malady of France. Behold the wounds, the most unnatural wounds which thou thyself hast given her woeful breast. Oh, turn your edged sword another way. Strike those that hurt, and hurt not those that help.
What she says, I'll confirm. We'll fight it out.
Assigned am I to be the English scourge. This night the siege assuredly will raise. With Henry's death, the English glory ends.
We will make thee famous through the world. We'll set thy statue in some holy place, and have thee reverenced like a blessed saint.
Now let us on, my lords, and join our powers and seek how we may prejudice the foe. Montjoy Saint-Denis!
Montjoy Saint-Denis!
My ancient incantations are too weak, and hell too strong for me to buckle with. Now, France, thy glory droopeth to the dust.
Damsel of France, I think I have you fast. Bring forth that sorceress condemned to burn.
Virtuous and holy, chosen from above by inspiration of celestial grace to work exceeding miracles on earth. I never had to do with wicked spirits, but you that are polluted with your lusts, stained with the guiltless blood of innocence, corrupt and tainted with 1,000 vices because you want the grace that others have. You judge a straight a thing impossible to compass wonders, but with help of devils. No, misconceived. Joan of Arc hath been a virgin from her tender infancy, chaste and immaculate in very thought, whose maiden blood thus rigorously abused will cry for vengeance at the gates of heaven.
Aye, aye, to execution.
Will nothing turn your unrelenting hearts? Then burn me hence, with whom I leave my curse. May never glorious sun reflection beams upon the country where you make abode. Ah! But
Do not fear nor fly. For I will touch thee but with reverent hands. I kiss these fingers for eternal peace, and lay them gently on thy tender side. Who art thou? Say that I may honor thee.
Margaret my name, and daughter to a king, the King of Naples. Whosoever thou art.
An earl I am, and Suffolk am I called. Be not offended, nature's miracle. Thou art allotted to be tamed by me. Yet, if this servile usage once offend, go and be free again as Suffolk's friend. Oh, stay!
Say, Earl of Suffolk, if thy name be so, what ransom must I pay before I pass? For I perceive I am thy prisoner.
How canst thou tell she will deny thy suit before thou make a trial of her love?
Why speakest thou not? What ransom must I pay?
She's beautiful, and therefore to be wooed.
Wilt thou accept of ransom, yea or no?
Fond man, remember, thou hast a wife.
I were best to leave him, for he will not hear.
Win this Lady Margaret. For whom? Why, for my king. Tush, that's a wooden thing.
He's talked some wood, it is some carpenter.
Say, gentle princess, would you not suppose your bondage happy to be made a queen?
To be a queen in bondage is more vile than is a slave in base servility, for princes should be free.
And so shall you, if happy England's royal king be free.
Why, what concerns his freedom unto me?
I'll undertake to make thee Henry's queen, to put a golden scepter in thy hand, and set a precious crown upon thy head, if thou wilt condescend to be mine.
What?
His love.
I am unworthy to be Henry's wife.
No, gentle madam, I unworthy am to woo so fair a dame to be his wife. How say you, are ye so content?
And if my father please, I am content! Farewell, my lord. Good wishes, praise, and prayers shall Suffolk ever have of Margaret.
Farewell, sweet madam. But hark you, Margaret, no princely commendations to my king.
Such commendations as becomes a maid, a virgin, and a servant say to him.
Words sweetly placed and modestly directed. But madam, I must trouble you again. No loving token to his majesty?
Yes, my good lord. A pure, unspotted heart, never yet tainted with love, I send the king.
And this withal.
Yet for thyself, for I will not presume to send such peevish tokens to a king.
Welcome, Queen Margaret. I can express no kinder sign of love than with this kind kiss. Oh Lord, that lends me life! Lend me a heart replete with thankfulness, for thou hast given me in this beauteous face a world of earthly blessings to my soul. If sympathy of love unite our thoughts.
Great King of England and my gracious Lord, the mutual conference my mind hath had by day, by night, waking and in my dreams with you, mine sovereign, makes me the bolder to salute my king and overjoy of heart of Minster.
Her sight did ravish, but her grace in speech makes me from wondering fall to weeping joys. Such is the fullness of my heart's content. Lords, with one cheerful voice, welcome my love.
Long live Queen Margaret, England's happiness.
We thank you all.
It is now 1444. King Henry VI's marriage to Margaret infuriates many of the English lords, because the Earl of Suffolk convinces King Henry to not only accept Margaret as his queen without a dowry, but also to give back 2 major counties to the French.
Young Henry's reign has already been fraught with infighting, verging on civil war, and his marriage to Margaret is the final straw. In fact, the very legitimacy of Henry VI's reign is called into question by Richard, Duke of York, Patriarch of the House of York.
Paris is lost. Normandy is gone. Cold news for me, for I had hope of France, even as I have of fertile England's soil. A day will come when York shall claim his own, and when I spy advantage, claim the crown. For that's the golden mark I seek to hit.
The House of York rises up against King Henry VI and his family, the House of Lancaster, and claims the right to the throne. The Wars of the Roses begin, with the Lancasters represented by the red rose and the Yorks the white.
Let him that is a true-born gentleman from off this briar pluck a white rose with me.
Let him that is no coward nor no flatterer, but dare maintain the party of the truth, pluck a red rose from off this thorn with me.
King Henry VI, realizing his claim to the crown is weak, since his grandfather, King Henry IV, usurped the crown from Richard II, makes a deal with the Yorks. If the Yorks allow him to live and remain as king, Henry will promise after his death that the crown will go to the sons of York.
Richard York agrees, but King Henry and Margaret also have a son, young Prince Edward. When Margaret hears the news of this deal, she is enraged that King Henry would disinherit their son and give away his claim to the throne.
No! Be patient, gentle queen, and I will stay.
Who can be patient in such extremes? A wretched man! What that I have died a maid, and never seen thee, never borne thee son, seeing as thou hast proved so unnatural a father. Hath he deserved to lose his birthright thus? Hadst thou loved him half so well as I, or felt the pain which I did for him once, or nourished him as I did with my blood, thou wouldst have left thy dearest heart blood there rather than have that savage duke thine heir, and disinherited thine only son.
Father, you cannot disinherit me. If you be king, why should not I succeed?
Pardon me, Margaret. Pardon me, sweet son. Richard the Duke of York enforced me.
Who forced thee? Art thou king, and wilt be forced? Ashamed to hear thee speak. Ah, timorous wretch, thou hast undone thyself, thy son, and me, and giving unto the house of York the crown. Had I been there, which am a silly woman, the soldiers should have tossed me on their pikes before I would have granted to that act, but thou preferst thy life over thine honor, and seeing thou dost, I here divorce myself, both from thy table, Henry, and thy bed, until that act of parliament be repealed, whereby my son is disinherited. Thus do I leave thee. Come, son, let's away. Our army is ready, will after.
Stay, gentle Margaret, and hear me speak.
Thou hast spoke too much already. Get thee gone.
Gentle son, Edward, thou wilt stay with me.
I to be murdered by his enemies?
When I return with victory from the field, I'll see your grace. So then I'll follow her.
Come, son, away. We may not linger thus.
The bloody wars of the Roses raged for 5 years as Margaret leads her army against the Yorks. Richard York's youngest son, the Earl of Rutland, while still only a boy, is viciously slaughtered by Margaret's men.
York does not know this yet, however. It is now December 30th, 1460, and Richard York is alone on the battlefield at Wakefield.
The army of the Queen hath got the field. My sons, God knows what hath bechanced them. Hark! The fatal followers do pursue, and I am faint and cannot fly their fury. And were I strong, I would not shun their fury. The sands are numbered that make up my life. Here must I stay, and here my life must end.
Yield to our mercy, proud Richard York! Red warriors, come make him stand upon this molehill here. What? Was it you that would be England's king? Where are your mess of sons to back you now, the wanting Edward? And where's that valiant crookback prodigy Dickie, your boy? stained this napkin with the blood made issue from the bosom of the boy, and if thine eyes can water for his death, I give thee this, to dry thy cheeks withal. Alas, poor York, but that I hate thee deadly, I should lament thy miserable state. I prithee, grieve to make me merry, York. What? Not a tear can fall for Rutland's death. Stamp, rave, and fret that I may sing and dance. York cannot speak unless he wear a crown. A crown for York, and lords bow low to him. Hold you his hands while I set it up. Aye, marry sir, now looks he like a king. Aye, this is he who took King Henry's chair. But how is it that great Richard York is crowned so soon and broke his solemn oath? As I bethink me, you should not be king till our King Henry had shook hands with death. Huh. Oh. 'Tis a fault too unpardonable. Off with the crown, and with the crown his head, and whilst we breathe, take time to do him dead.
She-wolf of France! But worse than wolves of France. On tiger's heart wrapped in a woman's hide. How couldst thou drain the lifeblood of the child? To bid the father wipe his eyes withal, and yet we seem to bear a woman's face. Women are soft, mild, pitiful, and flexible. Thou, stern, obdurate, flinty, rough, remorseless. Bidst thou me rage? Why now thou hast thy word? Wouldst thou me weep? Why now thou hast thy will? See, ruthless queen, a hapless father's tears. This cloth thou dippest in blood of my sweet boy, and I, with tears, to wash the blood away. There, take the crown, and with the crown, my curse. And in thy need, such comfort come to thee, as now I reap at thy too cruel hand. Ah, hard-hearted Margaret, take me from the world, my soul to heaven, my blood upon your head.
Off with his head and set it on York gates, so York may overlook the town of York.
The Wars of the Roses go on for over 25 more years, seesawing back and forth. First, the Lancasters have the advantage, then the Yorks. Then the Lancasters seem to take control, but the Yorks come back and seize power again. Margaret and her son, Prince Edward, are captured.
Prince Edward is killed by York's third son, Richard, soon to be Duke of Gloucester.
No!
Later, King Richard III.
Margaret watches in horror as her son is killed, and she is then banished forever by the Yorks. King Henry VI is captured by the sons of Richard York and sent to languish, alone in prison in the Tower of London.
King Edward IV, eldest son of the House of York, is now king. we sit in England's royal throne, purchased with the blood of enemies. Richard, I here create the Duke of Gloucester. Brother of Gloucester, this lady's husband was slain, her lands then seized on by the conqueror. Her suit is to repossess those lands which we in justice cannot well deny, because in quarrel of the house of York, the worthy gentleman did lose his life.
Your Highness shall do well to grant her suit. It were dishonor to deny it her.
It were no less. But yet I'll make a pause.
Yea, is it so? Oh, I see the lady hath a thing to grant, before the king will grant her humble suit.
Widow, we will consider of your suit, and come some other time to know our mind.
Right gracious lord, I cannot brook delay. May it please your highness to resolve me now, and what your pleasure is shall satisfy me.
I, widow, well then I warrant what pleases him shall pleasure you.
Richard, give us leave. I'll try this widow's wit.
Aye, good leave have you.
Now tell me, madam, do you love your children?
Aye, full as dearly as I love myself.
And would you not do much to do them good?
To do them good, I would sustain some harm.
Then get your husband's lands to do them good.
Therefore I came unto your majesty.
I'll tell you how these lands are to be got.
So shall you bind me to your highness' service.
What service wilt thou do me if I give them?
What you command. That rests in you to do. Why stops, my lord? Shall I not hear my task?
An easy task. 'Tis but to love a king.
That's soon performed because I am a subject.
Why, then thy husband's lands I freely give thee.
I take my leave with many thousand thanks.
But stay thee. 'Tis the fruits of love I mean.
The fruits of love I mean, my loving liege.
Aye, but I fear me in another sense. What love thinkst thou I sue so much to get?
My love till death. My humble thanks, my prayers. That's love which virtue begs and virtue grants.
No. By my troth, I did not mean such love.
Why then you mean not as I thought you did?
But now you may partly perceive my mind.
My mind will never grant what I perceive your highness aims at if I aim aright.
To tell thee plain I aim to lie.
To tell you plain I'd rather lie in prison.
Why then thou shalt not have thy husband's
Why
lands.
then mine honesty shall be my dower. But by that loss I will not purchase them.
Therein thou wrongst thy children mightily.
Herein your highness wrongs both them and me. But mighty lord, this merry inclination accords not with the sadness of my suit. Please, you dismiss me either with aye or no.
Aye, if thou wilt say aye to my request. No, if thou dost say no to my demand.
Then no, my lord. My suit is at an end.
Say that King Edward take thee for his queen.
Tis better said than done, my gracious lord. I am a subject fit to jest withal, but far unfit to be a sovereign.
Sweet widow, by my state I swear to thee. I speak no more than what my soul intends, and that is to enjoy thee for my love.
And that is more than I will yield unto. I know I am too mean to be your queen, and yet too good to be your concubine.
Answer no more. For thou shalt be my queen. Richard! You muse what chat we two have had.
The widow likes it not, for she looks very sad.
You'll think it strange if I should marry her.
To whom, my lord?
Why, Richard, myself.
That would be 10 days' wonder at the least.
Well, just on, Brother Gloucester, I can tell you. Her suit is granted for her husband's lands. Widow, come you along. Lords, use her honorably.
I, Edward, will use women honorably. Would he were wasted, marrow, bones, and all, that from his loins no hopeful branch may spring to cross me from the golden time I look for. Yet, between my soul's desire and me, the lustful Edward's title buried. Edward! Whilst I live, to account this world but hell, until my misshaped trunk that bears this head be round impaled with a glorious crown. I'll hence to London on a serious matter, to make a bloody supper in the Tower.
Now, my Cetus, my soul delights, having my country's peace and my brother's love. Sound music, begin our lasting joy! Help me! Thus I prophesy that many a thousand shall rue the hour that ever thou wast born.
The owl shrieked at thy birth, an evil sign.
Dogs howled, and hideous tempest shook down trees. Thy mother felt more than a mother's pain, and yet brought forth less than a mother's hope. To wit, an indigested and deformed lump. Teeth hadst thou in thy head when thou wast born, to signify thou camest to wipe the world.
I'll hear no more. Die, prophet, in thy speech. I, that have neither pity, love, nor fear. Indeed, 'tis true that Henry told me of, for often I have heard my mother say I came into the world with my legs forward. The midwife wondered, and the women cried, "Oh, Jesus bless us, he is born with teeth." And so I was, which plainly signified that I should snarl, and bite, and play the dog. Then, since the heavens have shaped my body so, let hell make crooked my mind to answer it. I have no brother. I am like no brother, and this word, love, which graybeards call divine, be resident in men like one another, and not in me. I am myself alone. Now is the winter of our discontent made glorious summer by this son of yours. But I, that am not shaped for sportive tricks, nor made to court an amorous looking glass, deformed, unfinished, sent before my time into this breathing world scarce half made up, and that so lame and unfashionable that dogs bark at me as I halt by them. Why, I, in this weak piping time of peace, have no delight to pass away the time. And therefore, since I cannot prove a lover to entertain these fair, well-spoken days, I am determined to prove a villain and hate the idle pleasures of these days.
Richard longs to become king,
As the years pass, King Edward IV grows ill and finally dies. Richard decides that he must marry Lady Anne, the widow of young Prince Edward, son to Margaret and Henry VI. Richard knows this won't be easy. He must woo the wife and daughter-in-law of the two men he himself killed.
Lady Anne is on the way to take the body of her father-in-law, King Henry VI, to be buried honorably. Poor key, cold figure of a holy king. Is of the House of Lancaster.
Cursed be the hand that made these fatal holes. Cursed be the heart that had the heart to do it. Cursed the blood that let this blood from hence. If ever he have child, abortive be it. If ever he have wife, let her be made more miserable by the death of him than I am made by my poor lord and thee.
What black magician conjures up this fiend to stop devoted charitable deeds? Avaunt, thou dreadful minister of hell, thou hast but power over his mortal body, his soul thou canst not have, therefore be gone!
Sweet saint, for charity be not so cursed.
Foul devil, for God's sake, hence and trouble us not!
Lady, you know no rules of charity, which renders good for bad, blessings for curses.
Villain, thou know'st nor law of God nor man, no beast so fierce but no some touch of pity.
But I know none, and therefore am no beast.
Oh, wonderful when devils tell the truth.
More wonderful when angels are so angry. Vouchsafe divine perfection of a woman of these supposed evils, to give me leave by circumstance, but to acquit myself.
Vouchsafe diffused infection of a man for these known evils, but to give me leave by circumstance to curse thy cursed self.
Fairer than tongue can name thee, let me have some patient leisure to excuse myself.
Fouler than heart can link thee, thou canst make no excuse courage but to hang thyself.
I did not kill your husband.
Why, then he is alive.
Nay, he is dead, and slain by Edward's hands.
In thy foul throat thou liest! Queen Margaret saw thy murderous falchion smoking in his blood. Didst thou not kill this king?
I grant you.
Dost grant me, hedgehog? Oh, he was gentle, mild, and virtuous.
The better for the King of Heaven that hath him.
He is in heaven where thou shalt never come.
Let him thank me, that helped to send him thither, for he was fitter for that place than earth.
And thou art fit for any place but hell.
Yes, one place else, if you will hear me name it.
Some dungeon?
Your bedchamber.
I have rest beside the chamber where thou liest.
So will it, madam, till I lie with you.
I hope so.
I know so. But, gentle Lady Anne, to leave this keen encounter of our wits and fall somewhat into a slower method, is not the causer of the timeless deaths of these Lancasters, Henry and Edward, as blameful as the executioner?
Thou art the cause and most accursed effect.
Your beauty was the cause of that effect. Your beauty that did haunt me in my sleep, to undertake the death of all the world, so I might live 1 hour in your sweet bosom.
If I thought that, I tell thee, homicide, these nails should rend that beauty from my cheeks.
These eyes could never endure that beauty's wrath. It is my day, my life.
Black night o'ershade thy day, and death thy life.
Curse not thyself, fair creature, thou art both.
I would I were to be revenged on thee.
It is a quarrel most unnatural to be revenged on him that loveth thee.
It is a quarrel just and reasonable to be revenged on him that slew my husband.
He that bereft thee, lady, of thy husband, did it to help thee to a better husband.
His better doth not breathe upon the earth.
He lives that loves thee better than he could.
Where is he?
Here. Why dost thou spit at me?
Would it were mortal poison for thy sake.
Never came poison from so sweet a place.
Never hung poison from a fouler toad. Out of my sight, thou dost infect my eyes.
Thine eyes, sweet lady, had infected mine.
Would they were basilisks to strike thee dead.
I would they were, that I might die at once, but now they kill me with a living death. Those eyes of thine from mine have drawn salt tears. These eyes which and blind with weeping. Teach not thy lips such scorn, for they were made for kissing, lady, not for such contempt. If thy revengeful heart cannot forgive, lo, here I lend thee this sharp-pointed sword, which if thou please, to hide in this true breast, and let the soul forth that adoreth thee, I lay it naked to the deadly stroke, and humbly beg the death upon my knee. They do not pause, for I did kill King Henry, but 'twas thy beauty that provoked me. Nay, not dispatched, 'twas I that stabbed young Edward, but 'twas thy heavenly face that set me on. Take up the sword again, or take up me.
Arise, dissembler. Though I wish thy death, I will not be thy executioner.
Then bid me kill myself, and I will do it.
I have already.
That was in thy rage. Speak it again, and even with the word, this hand, which for thy love did kill thy love, shall for thy love kill a far truer love. To both their deaths shalt thou be accessory.
I would I knew thy heart.
'Tis figured in my tongue,
I fear me both are false.
that never was man true.
Well, put up your sword.
Say then my peace is made.
That shall you know hereafter.
But shall I live in hope?
All men, I hope, live so.
Vouchsafe to wear this ring.
To take is not to give.
Look how my ring encompasseth thy finger, even so thy breast encloseth my poor heart. Wear both of them, for both of them are thine. And if thy poor devoted servant may but beg one favor in thy gracious hand, thou dost confirm his happiness forever.
What is it?
That it would please thee, leave these sad designs to him that hath more cause to be a mourner. And after I have solemnly interred this noble king, and wet his grave with my repentant tears, I will with all expedient duty see. I beseech you, grant me this boon.
With all my heart. And much it joys me, too, to see you are become so penitent.
Bid me farewell.
'Tis more than you deserve. But since you teach me how to flatter you,
Imagine I have said farewell already.
before King Edward died, he and Elizabeth had 3 children. 2 sons, the Princes Edward and York, and a daughter, also named Elizabeth. Richard's last task before becoming king is to murder the 2 young princes after he has occupied the Tower of London for their protection.
After the young boys are killed, he is crowned King Richard III. He is determined to tighten his hold on the throne by plotting to marry their sister, young Elizabeth. As for Anne, his current wife, Richard must make good on his vow that he will not keep her long. He slowly poisons Anne and spreads rumors that she is sick and likely to die. Once Anne is dead, Richard tries to convince Elizabeth to woo her daughter to him.
What Richard doesn't know is that the little queen has been making arrangements for her daughter, young Elizabeth, to marry Henry, Earl of Richmond. Eventually, Richmond and young Elizabeth marry, and Richmond becomes Henry VII, the first king of the House of Tudor. Richmond and young Elizabeth are the parents of Henry VIII and the grandparents of Shakespeare's own Queen Elizabeth.
I hear the queen's daughter fled to Richmond. I must be married to my brother's daughter, or else my kingdom stands on brittle glass. Murder her brothers, and then marry her. Uncertain way of gain. But I am in so far in blood that sin will pluck on sin. Tear-falling pity dwells not in this eye. Who interrupts my coronation? Foul, wrinkled witch, what makes thou in my sight? Wert thou not banished on pain of death?
I was. But I do find more pain in banishment than death can yield me here by my abode. A husband and a son thou owest to me. Can curses pierce the clouds and enter heaven? Why then give way, dull clouds, to my quick curses.
Have done thy charm, thou hateful withered hag.
Stay, dog, for thou wilt hear me. The worm of conscience still begnaw thy soul. Let no sleep close up that deadly eye of thine, unless it be whilst some tormenting dream affrights thee with a hell of ugly devils, thou elvish marked, abortive, rooting hog, thou rag of honor, thou detested
Margaret!
Richard.
Ha!
I call thee not.
I cry thee mercy then, for I had thought thou hadst called me on these bitter names.
So I did, but looked for no reply. Oh, let me make the period to my curse.
It is done by me, and ends in Margaret. Thus have you breathed your curse against yourself.
Oh! Fool! Thou whetst a knife to kill thyself. Oh, but remember this another day, and say, poor Margaret was a prophetess.
No far more cause, yet much less spirit to curse, abides in me. I say amen to her.
Stay, madam, I must speak a word with you.
I have no more sons of the royal blood for thee to slaughter.
You have a daughter called Elizabeth, virtuous and fair, royal and gracious.
And must she die for this?
I intend more good to you and yours than ever you or yours were by me wrong.
What to be discovered that can do me good?
Then know that from my soul I love thy daughter, and do intend to make her Queen of England.
How canst thou woo her?
That would I learn of you, as one being best acquainted with her humor.
And wilt thou learn of me?
Madam, with all my heart.
Send to her, by the man that slew her brothers, a pair of bleeding hearts, thereon engraved Edward and York. Then happily will she weep. If this inducement move her not to love, tell her thou mayst away her good Aunt Anne.
You mock me, madam. This is not the way to win your daughter. Look, what is done cannot now be amended. Men shall deal unadvisedly sometimes, which after hours give leisure to repent. If I did take the kingdom from your sons to make amends, I'll give it to your daughter. Again shall you be mother to a king. Go then, my mother, to thy daughter, go.
Shall I be tempted of the devil thus?
Aye, if the devil tempt you to do good.
But thou didst kill my children.
In your daughter's womb I bury them, where in that nest of spicery they will breed selves of themselves to your recomforture.
Shall I go with my daughter to thy will?
And be a happy mother by the deed.
I go. Write to me very shortly, and you shall understand for me her mind.
Bear her my true love's kiss. And so farewell. Relenting fool and shallow changing woman.
I had an Edward till a Richard killed him. I had a Henry till a Richard killed him. I had a husband till a Richard killed him. I had a father till a Richard killed him. I Richard and Edward till a Richard
Of
killed
course,
one. I had a
trumpets.
York till a Richard killed one. I had two
Strike
stripes
a
till
laurel
Richard
drums. Let not the heavens hear these telltale women rail on the wars of the
Richard killed him! Let us sit heavy on thy soul today.
despair and die.
Despair and die!
Perjury on the highest degree.
Murder, stern murder in the direst degree.
Guilty, guilty.
Guilty.
Bloody and guilty. Fall thy edgeless sword, despair and die.
Despair and die.
Bloody battle, end thy days. Die in terror of thy guiltiness.
Oh, coward conscience, how dost thou afflict me?
Richard, thy wife, that wretched Anne, thy wife that never slept a quiet hour with thee, now fills thy soul with perturbations. Today in the battle think on me, and fall thy edgeless sword, despair and die.
Despair and die.
How thou standst me in my prime of youth, King Henry's issue, young Prince Edward bids thee despair and die.
Despair and die! Think on me and the tower. Despair and die! Henry VI bids thee despair and die!
Dream on my sons, thy cousin smothered in the tower. Thy brother, Edward IV, bids thee despair and die.
We're bloody and guilty, guiltily awake. King Henry IV bids thee despair and die.
Dream on of bloody deeds and death. King Henry V bids thee yield thy breath, despair and die.
Despair and die!
By the Apostle Paul, shadows tonight have struck more terror to the soul of Richard than can the substance of 10,000 soldiers armed in proof and led by shallow Richmond. Richmond, I have set my life upon a cast, and I will stand the hazard of the die. I think there be 6 Richmonds in the field. 5 have I slain today instead of him. The horse, my kingdom for a horse.
True hope is swift and flies with swallows' wings. Kings it makes gods, and meaner creatures kings.
I come but for mine own.
God, in your arms we praise. Victorious friends, the day is ours. The bloody dog is dead.
God and St. George, Richmond and victory!
Proclaim a pardon to the soldiers fled, that in submission will return to us. And then, as we've tamed the sacrament, we will unite the white robes and the red. England hath long been mad and scarred herself. The brother blindly shed the brother's blood. The father rashly slaughtered his own son. The son compelled and butchered to the sire. All this divided York and Lancaster. Oh, now, let Richmond and Elizabeth, the true succeeders of each royal house, by God's fair ordinance, conjoin them together, and let their heirs, God, if thy will be so, enrich the time to come with smooth-faced peace, with smiling plenty, and fair prosperous days. Now civil wounds are stopped, peace lives again, the shimmy long live here. God say amen.
For God's sake, let us sit upon the ground and tell sad stories of the death of kings. How some have been deposed, some slain in war, some haunted by the ghosts they have deposed. For within the hollow crown that rounds the mortal temples of a king keep step his court. And there the antic sits, scoffing his state, and grinning at his pomp, allowing him a breath, a little scene, to monarchize. And with a little pin, bores through his castle wall, and farewell, king! For you but mistook me all this while. I live with bread like you, feel want, taste grief, need friends. Subjected thus, how can you say to me, I am a king?